Forza Horizon 5 has 866 cars, and some of them have really cool features which you probably didn't know about. And in today's video, I'll be going through some of them, so 4,000 likes is the target if you want to help out, as if you hit that then I'll make a sequel to this video with even more cars. And hello, it is I, and let's get into this video. Lamborghini Murcielago comes with these iconic indicator lights on the side of the car. Look at it, it's like a triangle. I mean, it is a triangle. And yeah, man, that's such a cool bit of design. That is so Lamborghini, right? Well, no, these are not very Lamborghini, because they actually come from the Mark I Ford Focus. Yep, those indicator lights over there are the exact same ones used on the Murcielago. Yep, Lamborghinis back then were like basically kit cars. They were like so weirdly put together. Now, the Lancia Stratos has this really weird feature, because if you open up the door bins are unusually big, and if you're wondering what do you put in those door bins, well, that's where you put your helmet. Yep, because this is basically just like a racing car, and racing drivers need racing helmets, and Lancia were like, hey, let's put the helmet in the door card, and then yeah, they basically just did that, and yeah, that's literally just a place to put your helmet. But come to think of it, that's probably like the biggest door card of any car in the world, surely. Like, you could put a helmet in there, that's crazy. Now, the Mazda RX-8 is powered by a rotary engine, and Mazda are very proud of their rotary engine, so much that they put little rotors all around the car. For example, there's a rotor shape in the bonnet, the shift knob, and even the wheels. Yep, there are literally rotors in the wheel spokes. That is amazing, I love that. Now, the Jaguar XJ220 actually has Citroen CX door mirrors, look at that. And on the other side, the door mirrors are, hang on a second, those aren't door mirrors, those are fender mirrors, because they're not actually on the door, but on the other side, they're actually on the door. Now, that is very weird. Now, this isn't a mistake that's made by Forza. The XJ220 does actually have non-symmetrical door mirrors, so yeah, the more you know. Now, the McLaren F1 is a very special car, so special in fact that the engine bay is literally gold. Yep, this is 22 karat gold, and it was used as a heat shield because the engine bay of the McLaren F1 is very hot, and as you can see, the exhausts are there, so I can imagine it gets really hot in there, so yeah, they had to use gold. Oh, and also, if the back of the car is an engine and the front of the car is the audio system, then where do you put the luggage? Well, you open up the door and then open up the side bins, and there is the luggage space. Yep, it's just like a coach, and apparently you can actually put a lot of luggage in there, so it's a pretty practical car as well. So yep, there you go, 2 facts with 1 car. Now, the Toyota GT86 actually has very skinny tyres, as you can see, and the reason why is because these tyres are actually from a Prius. Yep, the sports car has Prius tyres, and you know, you might see that as a bad thing, but on a low powered sports car like this, these are the perfect tyres. Now, this is the Jaguar XES, and as you may know, this car is powered by a 3-litre V6. Yep, this is the same engine they used in the F-Type, and yeah, man, Jaguar put this engine in an XE, and yeah, they called it the XES, and it's a very sexy car. But there's something about the engine which you may not know, because it also shares the engine with this, yep, the V8 Jaguar F-Type. Now, you might be wondering, how's a V8 and a V6 the same? Well, they literally made the V6 by getting the V8 and getting rid of 2 cylinders. And I'm not exaggerating, it's the exact same engine block that they use for both cars, but they just got rid of 2 cylinders and like blocked it up, so yeah. Now, this is the Koenigsegg Regera, which is a really cool car, and look at the exhaust tip, that is amazing. But that is not the exhaust tip, in fact, that is to cool the battery pack of the car. The actual exhaust tips are these fins in the diffuser. Yep, as you can see, it says Akrapovic, and there's one on the other side as well. So yeah, those are the 2 exhaust tips. The middle one is not an exhaust tip, that's a common misconception, but yeah, this car has 2 exhaust tips. Now, this is a completely stock Lamborghini Countach, right? Wrong, because the wing is actually aftermarket. Yep, lots of people assume that this wing is a Lamborghini factory wing that came with the car, but it didn't. All Countaches were sold without the wing, and then you had to like hire this guy to put the wing on the Countach, and lots of Countach owners did that. So yeah, it's basically the norm to see these cars with wings like that, but it's not factory, so yeah, the more you know. Now, the TVR Cigaris does not have any door handles, so how do you open the door right hear you say? Well, you actually go underneath the door mirror and that button there can open the door. And the cool thing is, in Forza, they actually recognize that that's where the door handle is, so that's where the icon is, and look at that, that's so cool. Now this is the BMW M1, and as you can see, it has the BMW badge on the back. Very nice, but it also has another BMW on the other side, which is very weird. I'm assuming they did this because of symmetry, but in that case, why is the M1 badge to one side? Like, surely you should have that in the middle or something. I don't know. It's weird, okay? It's weird. Now, this is the iconic Willys Jeep, which is a very cool car, but you might be wondering, why is the windshield hinged? Because you can do this. Yep, you can literally put down the windshield of the car, which is very funny. And on this side over here, you can actually open up the glass. That is so cool. It's like, you know how people have those sunglasses where you can like flip it up and then it goes from like sunglasses to glasses. It's like that. It's so funny. Now the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento is a seriously cool car, but did you know that this car does not have any seats? Well, it's true, because these are meant to be the seats, but they're literally just padding into the carbon fiber monocoque. There's no adjustability whatsoever. It's just padding. I mean, yes, they do look like seats, but those are not like a separate part of the car. That is part of the car's monocoque, so yeah. Also, the car has no dashboard. It's just like this carbon fiber strut thing across the car. It's weird, okay? This car is very lightweight. Now, this is the Fiat Abarth 595 Esese, or however you pronounce it, and as you can see, the roof is fabric. Now, you might be thinking, oh, the roof's fabric, so you can actually take the roof off and turn this into a convertible, but that's not the reason why this car has a fabric roof. The actual reason why is because they could save costs by getting rid of the metal over there and replacing it with fabric. And as a result, this car was very cheap to produce, and basically everybody drove this car around in Italy. Now this is the Dodge Challenger Hellcat, and as you can see, it has that Mopar V8, Hemi supercharged V8 707 horsepower, oh yeah. And as you can see, the airbox thing goes to the left of the car, which is, you know, that's pretty normal. But what's not normal is having the intake of the car go through the headlights. Yep, that left headlight over there, that is an intake for the engine, and I just find that so cool. But on the other side, yeah, it's just like a regular headlight, but as you can see here, it's got like a hole inside. So yeah, the headlights have intakes in them. And also, something funny about this car is the fact that it says fuel on the fuel filler cap. Like, how was I meant to know that was gonna be fuel? I thought you were gonna put water in there. So like, what? This is such an American car, you have to explain everything. Now, if you get rid of the spoiler on the R33 GTR, then it does not actually lay flat with the rear arches of the car. In fact, it would actually end up looking like this. Yep, this is what an R33 GTR would look like without the wing. So yep, the boot is not flat with the rear arches of the car. So if you have OCD, then look out for that when you're buying this car. Now, as you can see on the regular DeLorean, the top speed goes to 85 miles per hour. But how did this car reach 88 miles per hour in the Back to the Future movie? Well, what they did is they altered the speedometer so that it said 95 miles per hour. Yep, the 95 miles per hour is actually like 95 written on a piece of tape apparently. So yeah, they literally faked the speedometer in the movie. Now this is the Lamborghini Diablo GT, and look at the cool Lamborghini doors, the cool Lamborghini headlights. Wrong! Those are not Lamborghini headlights, my friend, because these headlights actually originate from a Nissan. Yep, this is the Nissan 300 ZX or ZX. ZX sounds cool, I'm gonna say ZX. Anyways, yeah, these are the same headlights that are found on the Diablo. I mean, I'm not sure it's the same one found on the Diablo GT, but them Diablos without the pop-up headlights, yeah, those had Nissan 300 ZX headlights. So yeah, my voice just went there. I don't know what just happened. Now, when you think of active aero, you probably think of supercars and hypercars, probably not a Toyota from the 90s. But believe it or not, on the Supra, yep, this car actually has active aero. That is so cool. But then again, so many retro cars from Japan had this, so I guess it's not much of a surprise. Now, this is the Porsche Panamera, and it's a pretty cool looking car, but do you know what's really cool about this car? The spoiler, because look at that. Oh my days, the way it folds out and folds in. Oh my days, I love that so much. Now, the Bugatti Zonda Cinque is an absurdly expensive car, but not everything on this car is expensive. Because if you open up the door and sit inside the car, look at that. Look at the climate controls over there. I mean, it looks very cool, but those are in fact the climate controls from a Rover 45. Yep, that is crazy. How can you use Rover climate controls for a Zonda? That is insane. Oh well, I mean, I guess Lamborghini used them as well, so that's an excuse, I guess. Now, Rimac was made famous by this guy. Yep, this guy's name, believe it or not, is Richard Hammond, and he rolled one of these cars down a hill and yeah, that's how everyone basically heard of Rimac. And with the Concept 2, they decided to pay homage to him, because on the rear of the car, you've got 2 helmets, because Richard Hammond is in fact a helmet, haha! Anyways, also, their fire extinguisher over there, in case of hill climb, extinguish fire. So yep, that's a funny little Easter egg on the Rimac Concept 2. Well done, Mate Rimac, or Mate Rimac, I don't know how you pronounce it, and well done, Mr. Rimac. Now, when you think of people carriers, you probably think of minivans and SUVs, but you probably never thought of a Volvo. But believe it or not, this Volvo 850R is actually, you can get it as a 7-seater, because that part of the boot opens up and it reveals a 3rd row of seats. So this car is technically a 7-seater if you opt it in the specification. Now, this is the Hyundai Veloster N, and as you can see, it's a 5-door car. I mean, you've got a door over here, you've got a door over here, the boot is technically a door, so that's another door, and on the other side, there's just 1 door. Yep, so this car is not a 5-door, it's a 4-door, but it's a hatchback, and it has 2 doors on one side and 1 door on the other. It's a very weird car. I don't know why they made this car like this. Now, this is the Ford Transit Supervan 3, as you can see from the livery, and as you may know, this car is actually powered by a Formula 1 engine. Look at that, it's a Cosworth, and yeah, it's a very cool car, but that's not the coolest part about this. I mean, it is the coolest part, but another cool part about this car is the fact that if you go inside the car, as you can see, it's meant to be right-hand drive, but if you get into the car, well, yep, you sit in the middle. That's where the steering was meant to be, but you're sitting in the middle. So yeah, it's literally like a Formula 1 car. Apart from the fact that it's a van. But yeah, you sit in the middle, so it's basically a Formula 1 car. Now, this is the C7 Z06 Chevy Camaro. And as you may know, on Corvettes, there is no sign that this is a Chevrolet, because all the badges have been replaced by Corvette badges, and yeah. But did you know that there is actually a Chevrolet badge on the Corvette? Well, there is, because the badge itself actually has the Chevrolet logo. So yeah, even though they replaced the Chevrolet logos with Corvette badges, it still has the Chevrolet logo. So yeah, people can't tell that this is the Chevy. Also, Americans probably already knew about this because they see this car everywhere, but I only just found out about it today, so okay, yeah, shut up, okay, shut up. Now, the McLaren Speedtail is a very quirky car, but one of my favorite features on this car is the glass. Because if I open up the door, as you can see, the glass has this like blue tint to it. But from the exterior, well, you can't see through the blue tinted area. It's completely opaque. Now, you might be wondering, what kind of sorcery is this? Well, this is called electrochromic glass, where you can literally turn glass opaque. Now, this is not just a McLaren thing, because I believe OnePlus phones also have a feature like this, and it's also found on the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, because those planes do not have like window shades. Instead, they implement electrochromic glass. So yeah, the more you know.